Just to very quickly just be like, I mean, a part where there's a giant shit singing opera to you.
Great
in
Mighty
Conker's
Pooh,
Bay.
yeah.
The Great Mighty. How does that song go again?
So
I am the Great Mighty Pooh, and I'm going to throw my shit at you. Yeah.
I love it. It's so fucking good.
Welcome for the second time doing this to episode 5, season 2 of Press and A Button to Continue. My name is Keith and I'm joined by my co-host Nisha. Oh boy, I said this before, which is funny. We got a very special episode for you today, as it's not only just us wrongly and ineffectively spreading misinformation on retro video games, because today we have a very special guest. Oh my god. She single-handedly reached the Twitch partner leap by promoting the sexual act of pegging. Some say her kazoo playing is only overshadowed by her love for her bread loaf shaped partner in crime, Bilbo the Corgi, deeply cursed and disturbed from the day she was born. It's been known that just for fun, that they consume Taco Bell just to experience their bowels evacuating like an unholy exorcism on the daily. That's right, we are honored to say that today's guest is the Banjo Kazooie, Zelda loving and gamer girl bathwater connoisseur, MARY Majora Minori, everybody. Woo! Clap it on in, Asia, baby. Let's feel it, honey.
You got me.
I got him twice. Full disclosure, we lost an entire episode, so God knows what's going to happen. But Nisha, my darling, how are you feeling about having a guest again?
Oh, I'm excited. Mary, thanks so much for coming back on. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for
putting up
giving me
with this
another
shit
chance
again.
and not hating me after the first one. I'll take it.
It was great. I had a great time.
I did too.
It was a lot of fun.
I mean, if I was to recap what happened in the first one for people who missed it, there was us doing Big Billy the Cat remixes primarily, followed by, just general so what's the crack?
Yeah.
But anyway, today is a new day.
It is. And so basically, Mary, I know I don't want to be thrown the stupid, so tell me about yourself. Stand up, when you're in a room, say you start a job or something, and they're like, so everyone stand up and tell me a bit about yourself, and you're like, fuck
the worst.
yeah
I'm a loser who plays video games and wanks in my room. All right.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yep.
So you're a Twitch streamer extraordinaire, Mary. Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't say extraordinaire, but
you got the purple tick. You have to take it.
I'll take it. I would. So, I suppose kind of just to not in the way I was describing to introduce yourself, but what kind of set you down the road of wanting to start doing Twitch streaming and setting up a Twitch? And actually, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but I have a question for the both of you afterwards, directly, specifically about Twitch. But and I'm just saying it now, so I have said it and I don't totally forget it.
Okay, we must remind him. Okay, Mary, you link in with me here.
Listen, I don't have great memory either, so I'm gonna rely on you.
Actually, it's notoriously known a thing called streamer brain. What goes in one ear that's told to you will go out the other ear, and I will say my own nonsense. So yeah, but we'll try our best.
Yeah, we'll try.
But just so kind of what was it about Twitch that kind of drew you in for streaming, and kind of what was it that got you started on the platform?
I mean, basically, I was pretty unfamiliar with Twitch before I started. I had only watched a couple streamers, but honestly, watching them seemed really fun. Just the thought of playing a game and getting to interact with people from all over the world was really cool. And also as a kid, it was something I already kind of did, where I would record myself making silly videos, or when I'd play a game, I would kind of narrate what I would do. And my parents would always tell me it was really funny, or my friends that would watch me would tell me that the commentary that I would do would be really funny. So I thought, well, if I'm already doing this off stream, why not stream it? See how that goes, see what it's like, maybe have someone in the chat to talk to instead of just myself all the time. So that's kind of what made me start doing it. And then turns out I actually really enjoyed it. So yeah, pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. And Keith, you did a similar thing where you recorded yourself playing games.
Yeah, those videotapes wouldn't be eligible to see the light of the day. We lived in a different time, let's just put it that way. But me and my friend Richard take a shot. Anytime you hear Richard, yep. Well, Mary, you know Richard because he's the He's the what-like guy, right?
Yes.
Which I've told before is about his bag catching off the DVD rack and spreading DVDs all over the shop. But yeah, we were the same in the sense that We had a little mini tape recorder, and I probably, maybe I told this last time, I don't know, but did I tell you about the time the video camera got stolen?
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if I've told the people from the podcast listening, but man, oh my god! So like, yeah. So first of all, we used to record our videos. We used to do like Resident Evil playthroughs, and I just us screaming at each other. And then I thankfully have that tape, but I also recreated like early Smosh videos with my friend John and stuff like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Smosh.
What's
Yeah, man.
Smosh?
Yes.
Smosh. Oh, dude.
What is that?
Early YouTube.
Yeah.
Very early YouTube.
They were like
Great.
they were the I think for a period of time they were the most watched YouTubers. I think they were the number one. I
Oh,
think
But
probably.
what
Yeah.
is it though? What's
they
Oh,
used
is
to,
that the name of like a channel? Is
yes,
Smosh?
the name of a channel.
Ah, right,
There was
right.
Ian and Anthony. I'm assuming you fancied Anthony, Mary, did you?
Oh my god. Well, both, but yeah, Anthony, yeah, definitely.
Sure. So they were a YouTube duo that it became to popularity by just lip syncing to the Pokemon theme song.
All right.
And then they created
That's
other
mad.
videos in the room. They did like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mortal Kombat, and they make funny videos in the room. Back in the time where you could make content like that and be insanely successful, and now
Yeah.
you'd be
Yes.
thrown. Isn't it crazy? Like the landscape. You know, we're talking about here being kids recording videos. We're talking about being Twitch streamers, and me and Nisha, we're doing a podcast together. Do you know? Isn't the time and place of something insane? Like if we did this podcast 10 years ago, you'd be like the first person to fucking, well, maybe a bit longer, but you'd be like, you'd be in there. Do you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
And Mary, it's like the same with Twitch streaming. Like when YouTube came out, if you did a Let's Play, like,
Oh my gosh. I don't know if it would even do well.
I don't think
don't
it has an
know.
option not to do well. That's what
You
I
don't
mean.
think
Like,
so?
no, because there was such limited content.
There
like,
weren't as many
there wasn't
people
any.
doing it.
I
Sure.
remember being in YouTube in 2006 and
Oh,
I'd
no.
watch like Devil May Cry videos and I'd watch Zelda videos, but Let's Players didn't fucking exist.
That's why I'm wondering if it would even do well.
Mm.
Would it be too out there? I don't know.
Maybe, but
Who was the first to was PewDiePie the first big, or is he just? I know he obviously he's one of the biggest, but who was the first to kind of start that trajectory of and that trend, or was there a singular person, or was it kind of a group? Do you know?
he was definitely like an early one, right?
Yeah, him and Markiplier, if you know him,
Yeah, Markiplier. Yeah,
he's been around forever doing Let's Plays as well. So
right.
a lot of these OGs, and they're still doing it too, which is
Yeah.
really cool to see.
Did you subscribe to his OnlyFans, Mary?
Oh yeah.
Nice,
yep,
nice.
right away.
Buns
Does
of Steel?
Markiplier have an OnlyFans? Does he?
Yes, he does.
No
For
way.
charity.
All
For
right.
charity.
Yeah,
That's
it's good. It's good
cool.
to know that when you're rubbing one out, someone's benefiting from it. You know,
Yeah, it's for you.
it is though.
For a good cause.
It
I'm
is.
just
It
doing my
is.
bit for a
There's
good
there's
cause.
nothing better than pleasing yourself and pleasing the world. You know.
He has like the best like podcast voice, or like
Ah,
his real
yes.
deep fucking it's his voice is incredible, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Gets
So
right to my loins.
I know it creates like it's like I don't know, it's like a cringe minge. Do you know what I mean? It creates that.
No, it's not
like-
a cringe minge. It'd be the
It's
opposite.
a proud, sorry,
'cause
a
it's like-
proud loin
yeah.
sweat, and then you can sell that, you know, gamer girl sweat water. We were talking about this today, by the way, as a plan of
Spilled over.
like of me jarring my sweat, but we pretend it's Mary's and we sell it.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Because we were saying, isn't it funny how like, you know, the deep dark people of the internet are like, yeah, I want the sweat,
Yeah,
and it's like,
yeah.
but little did you know you were drinking Keats this whole time.
Like, isn't that
They'd never know.
fucking that's fucking crazy. That bathwater thing was fucking nuts, wasn't it? Like
It is. People are horny though, you know.
Get your money. I don't know.
yeah. But
Oh,
so
here, like if I could sell my, if you can sell something that excretes from your body, let's be totally honest with you, it's a no brainer.
you'd be fucking bone dry if you
What?
sell that
Oh,
shit
I
so
would.
much.
I'd be like, imagine me just like, I don't know if you ever watched Dragon Ball Z, but when Cell absorbs someone and their skin is just left on the floor, that would be me. But
Oh, God.
Fucking hell.
this is a lot more derailed than the first time we recorded this
yeah.
I
podcast.
know.
So, how long, Mary, have you actually been streaming on Twitch for?
So actually, today's the 8th. So in 8 days, it'll be 5 years.
Oh,
Which
that's,
is pretty
that's pretty
crazy.
cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's
And
been
you
a-
set
it's
up
been a
you set
journey.
up YouTube recently as well, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And how
Yeah, that's
how
a
you-
relatively new thing.
And how's that going?
Going good. I mean, it's very fun. It's low pressure compared to Twitch. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like I can kind of do whatever I want. I don't know. There is just a different environment on YouTube because you don't have the chat, you don't have this like
I think
pre-existing community.
yes, that's it.
Yeah.
No, that's it because I can relate to that when I was doing some TikTok streams. And I know we're getting into like more the creator content side of things, but like when I was doing a couple of TikTok streams just because I could and they gave me the platform to do it, there was like a beta you could stream on TikTok. And when I did that, I was like, oh my God, there's like I had zero expectations of myself. So I could have had one viewer all day and I would have been happy. Compare,
Yes.
so
Yes.
yeah, so your bar starts again rather than you've
Mhm.
built something and if you have a bad day footfall like in a shop or something and that feels lower. Same with the podcast,
Right.
Nisha, right?
Mm-hmm.
For instance, like the way we can have episodes that will do better than others, like we have
Yeah.
episode 9 which is doing significantly better than some other ones, and
Yeah.
and you could release an episode that's our favorite and it gets lower numbers and you're like, geez, I wonder why, like what happened, but when you start something, but then if you started a separate podcast called press any fuck off wank in a bin kind of thing, like you could start that fresh, and if you got 10 listens you'd be like, oh, that's class.
Yeah.
There's like it starts again kind of.
Yeah. No, I get that. I get that. Like it's yeah, you're used to having the people who like in your chat and stuff like that, and obviously you'd vibe off that and you bounce off that, and it also gives you content because you're responding to what people are saying and stuff like that. Whereas on YouTube, it's you and the video game or whatever it is that you're creating, so you have to rely on your own energy and your own buzz to kind of to keep it going. I think it's cool to basically to try it out, like because I suppose you're kind of branching out then, really, aren't you? You're not just Twitch. The same with you, Keith. When you like doing this, you're trying the podcast, you're trying something different, and I suppose it's all just kind of honing your skills as a creator, as an entertainer. You know what I mean? You're constantly trying, and you're all learning.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I commend people that do try different things, because some people mightn't want to branch out because they feel like it might dilute your one platform if you're trying to spread it out. Do you know what I mean? Like, remember,
Mhm.
Keith, you wanted everything on Spotify at the
Uh-huh.
start, and I was like, yeah, I was on the same page because we want to have all the traffic going in one way.
You want to
But if you,
succeed somewhere rather than spread yourself in 10 places and have 10 different audience segregated.
Mm,
Was kind of like the plan, do you know? Yeah, and then I think as you kind of grow, you can kind of see if you can. Now you can always do it whenever you want. It depends what your goal is. Like if you're just doing
I
it for your
suppose,
own
yeah,
creative self-fulfillment, it's different,
mm,
right? But
mm,
if you are trying to, work it into some part of a part-time job or a full-time job, and you kind of need a curve to say realistically and have a serious talk with yourself, like, is this succeeding or is this failing?
mm,
There's that kind of moment too.
yeah. And Mary, so as Keith just said there, like it depends on what you're doing it for. So like with YouTube, like are you trying to create another platform? Are you doing it for fun? Are you doing it to learn? Or
I think it's a combination of everything you just said.
Mhm.
Also, I think as like a content creator, even though I totally agree with your point about like not wanting to spread yourself across all these platforms, but I think that having the different platforms can also bring traffic back to the main thing, that whatever it is.
Absolutely.
So say you want to grow on Twitch or something, maybe you
Hmm.
make an Instagram and a Twitter to help promote that or whatever. So YouTube is kind of that for me.
Okay.
It's also, I think, smart as a content creator to not put all your eggs in one basket,
Hmm.
essentially. Especially like if you're trying to make money from it. If something happens to Twitch, which is very possible at this
Yeah.
Mhm.
point.
I mean,
It,
something
it
happens to Twitch every day.
well, yeah, but exactly, like
It's
it's
like, oh
always on
Jesus, there's a
fire.
gunshot like fucking going past your ear. Like, what the fuck? All
Yeah,
the badges are gone. Randomly
so
unfollowing
true.
people.
It's
Yeah.
always broken, but yeah, I think it's good to have not a backup plan, but just in case
Yeah.
like something was to happen, you have an established channel community in
Hmm.
another space that you can kind of like fall back on or go back and forth to. Like for me, I like YouTube because it lets me stream other kinds of content than I do on like my main
Yeah.
channel. It can be for highlights from the stream or compilations from the stream, and these videos are permanent. Whereas on Twitch, the VODs disappear. So it's nice to have that
Yeah.
kind of like archive on YouTube.
The
Um,
memories.
Yeah, and you can edit them. I'm not saying you can't really edit stuff on Twitch because technically you can download your VOD and stuff, re-upload it, but not many people do that. So it's just, I don't know. It's kind of nice to have another place to be creative, and there's no pressure.
Yeah.
It's just kind of, let's see how this goes. If it goes well, that's great. But
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
with Twitch doing it for 5 years, I definitely feel more pressure to do well because I've been doing it for so long. I feel like, well, at this point, if I'm not doing well, what am I even doing?
Yeah, this
Yeah,
there's a
you
funny
understand.
aspect of that as well, which was like annoys me is the fact I've had an account for so long, but I would have only streamed kind of semi-consistently for a period of time. So when you look at your overall stats, it's like, yeah, well, if we
Well,
take in from 2018 and 19, where you had like did nine streams in total to 3 people, we're just going to bring down your overall average for the rest of the 5 years you've
oh
been
no,
doing it.
no,
You know what
Does
I
it
mean?
do
no,
that?
no,
Does it do
no,
that?
don't do that.
Well, if you look, there's a website you can see where you like you place in the world as a streamer or whatever it is,
Right.
and it's like
Oh,
but it's dictated off your entire since the account existed. And so if you had
oh
say
boy.
if you had 3 years of 0 people and you have 5 years of 100 people,
Mm.
or 2 and 2, your average is 50. Do you know what I mean? It's going to cut
Right.
it
Yeah,
down the middle, so it's not
sure.
taking in. But anyway, that doesn't really matter. That's only a head game, really, right? That's fucking neither here nor there. Your
Yeah,
success is dictated by where you are today, who we are in this present
sure.
moment.
Yeah, and it's more than just numbers.
Yeah, for sure.
Success can be measured in different ways. For some people, it is strictly numbers based, and it definitely is part of it, but it's not. It's not everything.
No.
Yeah, like I think I was saying on stream today, like I was like, oh, like no, it's like I'm like for me, I'm like as I said, living the dream. Do you know what I mean? It's like I can like chat to people. I've been making like great friends. Nisha, I've met you through doing this, doing the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
If I can like make, because some people are like, oh Jesus, well like it's not like you're making that much money or anything. It's like, but I make enough to get by doing what I love doing. Like
Yeah.
this is already a dream. I think there's like, and if the dream, as I said before, like if it ends tomorrow, if it ends next week, or I have to go back to working more in therapy, as I have a background in therapy and working as a therapist, that's fine. But like every day you get to do what you love doing and you can support yourself doing it, to me is almost the benchmark of what the dream is.
Mm.
And that goes for content creation, full stop, or that goes for you pour your heart and soul into something and someone recognizes it in some aspect and you get a reflection of that back. And then if you can do that and support yourself, or you can just do it anyway and you still get great satisfaction from it and you work some other job.
Yeah. And like, cause Mary, what you stream 3 days a week? Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what's kind of what's your schedule? Is it during the day, during the afternoon? What way do you do it?
So for me it's afternoon 2:30 my time. Yeah, I've tried different times of day.
Mm.
I used to, when I started, I used to do like late night. I'd start around 8, 9 o'clock. But I love doing afternoon streams because then I get the evenings to myself. Actually, Keith and I have a very similar schedule. It's just
Right.
Irish time versus, in the United
Yeah.
States. So it's
Yeah,
just,
so
there's
what
that
time do you
difference.
start and finish your time?
So I start 2:30 my time and end around 7 or 8.
Okay, yeah.
So
we
it's
are the
very
same. We're the
similar.
same
Yeah.
person, girl.
I know. Look at
we
us. But
were
yeah.
we were laughing today because I think Mary, you can do like a how long you've been following the channel. And Mary's been following me for like
Mhm.
4 years plus or whatever, and I'm obviously the
4 and a
same with
half.
you. And
Yeah.
it's like we were like, fuck, we're different people even. Do you know what I mean?
I
Like as in,
know.
and we're like, Jesus, like, you know the difference, Isha, from like 25 to 30? Like even that
Yeah.
alone is like
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
radical, you know?
Yeah, it's mad how people would change. You're talking about like from being a 25-year-old to a 30-year-old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
someone who
Mhm.
probably go out like 3 times a week to like
Ah.
going out once every 2 months.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
never did that.
I have that
I've
reaction as
tried
well,
it.
Mary.
Okay, well, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. You were always a cool dude. You know what I mean? You knew from a young age. You were like, you know what, friends? No, I don't need them. I can narrate my own Banjo Kazooie journey. I don't need no one.
Yeah. Pretty much.
It is mad how, and not to get too deep, but it's mad how you change. Well, personally, like if I was to look at myself even as a 25-year-old, and now I'm 35 years old, I'm 36 next month. Like I'm a completely different person. Like
Mhm.
I'm talking fucking, like I'd say I'm 80% different, which
Sure.
is
I
mad.
think I think when I think of stuff like that, I think around the lines, I think my personality was kind of set in stone to an idea when I was kind of like 17, 18 in my head in some ways. But I think my morals and my ethics would have changed drastically throughout the times of and my boundaries, like the people you'd hang out with versus the people you'd hang out with now. Like I wouldn't hang out with some of the same people I would have hung out with when I was that age versus now. Not to say that that's anything specifically against them or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's just you change and you grow and you accept what's okay and what's not okay to have in your life. Do you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've gone over what inspired you to start Twitch. You were talking about kind of your schedules. Very similar to Keith. You do 3 days. I think Keith does 4, and it's you
5 if we can squeeze it in.
Oh, sorry, yeah. You do
Boner
you do the
stream.
boner
streams.
stream.
Yeah, we call them a
boner.
bonus stream, which is all about erections, hardcore throbbing cocks down at Ram Ranch. 14 men bending over down at Ram Ranch to receive the hard throbbing cocks. Mary, can you do me a favor? Drop the beat, baby.
For Ram Ranch or for
no. Drop the beat.
Oh, okay.
I'm the big burly, such a big burly. I'm the big burly, clearly. I'm the big burly, the biggest wet burly. I'm the big burly, clearly. Okay, thank you. That's perfect. That's called a segue.
Perfect.
So we're moving into a different topic, are we?
Oh no, not a different topic, but you were recapping, so I thought it was a perfect opportunity.
Right.
You know,
I like it. That cat video, man. Fucking. What was it? Is that the one you were showing me where?
He has a little bow tie, and he's just on someone's shoulder going, "I'm the big burly." He just starts spitting facts, man. You know.
That was we were talking about the early days of YouTube. That's what fucking YouTube was, wasn't it? Like as well.
Cats have never died. Cats have been. If you want the pinnacle of internet success with no drop off from the dawn of the internet today, cats have never failed.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
It's probably the only demographic that's ever held. People fucking love cats, man.
Yes,
people love cats as much as they love Oh my god, we have to. I just can't. Sorry, Mary.
Yes.
You love Sonic the Hedgehog, correct?
No.
Could you just talk very briefly about your love for Sonic the Hedgehog and why you love it?
I mean, I'd rather not. It would be very short. I don't like Sonic the Hedgehog, but I do like the music. I will always stand by that. The music is a banging.
Yeah.
Okay, well, during this time that I kept you distracted, we had a little thing from last week, which is type in your name followed by the hedgehog, and
I've done this actually.
And I needed to find Mary the Hedgehog. Okay, this is definitely. I'll read out a few of them. So we got name Mary, if it wasn't already apparent. Favorite food chili dogs. Very on a Sonic way here. Okay, theme Shooting Star by Owl City. What's that song
Oh my
again?
God, Owl City.
Do you love this? Is this true?
Well, fireflies. You know?
I would glide a firefly. Oh, that song, yeah.
More or less.
Sing it,
having a fucking clue what it is.
Okay, so, oh my God. BFFs, Namia and Lily, the cat. Okay, so that you have a friend that's a cat. Your
nice.
favorite drink is punch. And your colors are orange, red, yellow, and blue. That was...
interesting.
That was definitely not as... Oh, wait, we have another one. You're also the guardian of the Master Emerald. I am Sonic's cousin. Oh, wow.
Oh,
okay.
boy.
Yeah. So technically we're related. Wow. I'm a science experiment went wrong.
Okay, now that
Mary,
feels accurate.
That should be your new Twitch bio.
Yeah. Well, currently it's if it's not cursed, it's not Mary. So I mean, similar vibes, I guess.
All right, that's all I had to add to that.
That was pretty good. That was from our Sonic episode where we typed names into the internet and found your one was brilliant, Keith, with the fucking.
Oh, I was.
He lives and dies by the blade and stuff.
I was a bit of an espresso depresso. Let's put it that way. I think my father ate my mother, and then I ate my father. It was
Sonic fan fiction is fucking insane.
Oh my God, it's everywhere.
But I was going to ask. So on your Twitch, at the moment you're currently playing through every single Legend of Zelda video game, which I think is fucking brilliant. And you're on the last game, is that right? You've done it for like, but you've done them. So you started from the original Legend of Zelda. You've worked all the way up through to Breath of the Wild, yeah.
Yes.
And you're currently playing through Breath of the Wild.
Yes, yeah, master mode, which
Master.
is the first time. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's difficult for
Oh,
sure. It's
really?
kicking my
Yeah.
butt. Yeah.
That game is difficult enough as it is, as far as I can remember.
And when you started, there was that moment where I went into a field and something hit me and I instantly died. And I was like, what the fuck?
Big laser lad.
It's like the fucking audacity of this fucking cunt. I just walked into a field and the hubris of some magoblin fucking hit me on the dunk on the head. And like
Yeah.
fucking... I'm just like 6 hearts just evaporating from my existence, being like, this is a whole pile of fucking what?
Master mode's like that, but the
Times
enemies
2.
regain health.
Oh,
So if you don't
shit.
kill them fast enough, they heal themselves,
Oh
which
shit.
sucks.
So you've done all of them, which is pretty impressive, especially considering like some of them are fucking insanely difficult, like
Ugh.
Link's Adventure on the NES.
like, what was the one that made you think to yourself, like, I'd rather fucking not be alive than play this? Was there one? Was there one
2.
of them? Zelda 2, yeah.
Zelda 2.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Zelda 2 actually? Because
I
I'm
fucking
interested
like
in
that game.
I'm interested in this, right? Because I've never played it. Is
Right.
there a part where you can shag people in a house, Mary? Do you go in and you shag
Yes.
someone for life?
Yes.
What?
Wait.
What?
Sorry.
Okay,
Did
I
you just
think-
ask if I wait? Did you ask if I shag in real? Would you just ask me?
I
If I
asked
shag
you
in real life?
No, where did you get in real life, Mary? Your brain's going to trash. I said, first of all, we need to have a conversation about Zelda 2 because it's a retro video game. I know fuck all about it and I'm interested in it, okay? What the fuck is it? Where did it come from? Why is it the way it is? And tell me what you like and don't like about it. You two battled it out and I will interject with some weirdness every so often.
Well, what did you like about it, Mary? Or sorry, can I ask how did you play it? Did you play it on an
Yeah, it was the
original
first
NES?
time.
Did you play it on the Switch, maybe through the NES library? What way did you play
And
it?
can I add to that, was streaming playing it the first time you played, or did you play it when you were younger?
Yeah, stream was my very first time playing it.
Mhm.
I played it through the Switch online, which I'm very thankful for because it has the rewind feature,
Yeah.
which I
You're not
utilize.
a real gamer.
Listen,
You gamer
listen.
girl, bathwater
I don't
stealing.
even call me a fake gamer.
You're
fine.
stealing my views.
That game. I genuinely do not know how people played it on the original
It's
NES
fucking insane,
without
isn't it?
save states.
Mm.
I could not do it. I wouldn't do it. I just, if you can do it, props to you.
Mm.
Me, no, cannot. I would have lost my sanity. That game is so brutally difficult.
Yeah, it is. It is. Like games back then were made. A lot of games were made specifically difficult because of renting video games. So they wanted you to be able to or to have to rent. So, or this is what I've heard. So
Mhm.
games from that era were made specifically difficult to stop people from buying it or renting it out, say, once and then completing it. They wanted you to have to keep going back and back and back, and you have to, like, games like that. As you know, Mary, from playing through it, like, if you were to play that on original hardware, where you didn't have save states and you didn't have a rewind button, like, you would have to put in my opinion, hundreds and hundreds of hours to get as good as you need to be and learn the game as much as you need to learn it to complete it. Like, it's
Oh,
that
absolutely.
fucking difficult.
Yeah.
I
There's no
remember
way.
playing through what was it called, Super Ghouls and Ghosts on
Oh,
the
that game
on the
is
Dude,
SNES.
I was
library.
just gonna bring this up because we touched on this before, where like I played. I think Mary, you were there when I was
Mhm.
playing with Owen, and I think we just
Yes.
like we must have used it 1,000 times, the
Oh, me
rewind
too, man.
feature.
Me too.
Yeah.
But I loved it because I got to see how beautiful the game is, how
Yes.
gorgeous the art is.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. Those
can we talk
games.
about the idea of fucking easy mode for a second? Because that's kind of an
fucking-
easy mode, right? Do you know? Like, there's some games you just fucking want to, like, experience the art of it. You want to experience the
Yeah.
music. You don't want to be fucking crying in a corner after you've been fucking lashed down the arsehole with the whip 69 times by fucking a game. Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you just want an experience. And particularly as I gotten older, I was playing Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King today. Great game. So fucking hard.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
they didn't
what?
expect me to be, because it's a co-op game too, and I think it wasn't made to be played single player. So it's like they
Right.
wanted to be in 9 different places at the same time. There was 3 elephants coming to attack me, and then there was a giant fucking bird going like, "Kah, kah!" And then I had to escort mission these 2 little fuckers down the back, and I was just like, nah, it's done by.
Like, I think there's this thing, like, you know, you're joking there, Keith. You're a fake gamer. Like, people have that weird fucking mentality where they think they should have to dictate how someone should play a game. It's the same with retro video games and how people
Gatekeeping as
play
well.
retro. Yeah, it
Oh,
is gatekeeping. It's
I
like,
could rant about this all day.
like
Rant.
my opinion on it, right? We will all get a good fucking ranting about
You
this, right?
better go
Because
on. Give me your rant, Nisha. I want
ultimately,
to hear your rant, Mary, and then
my
I'm going to rant some more, mate.
my thoughts on say retro video games and easy mode, normal, hard mode, whatever way you want to
Anything,
put it.
basically.
Play it whatever the fuck way you want. It's whatever
Tell
way you find pleasurable, whatever way you enjoy fucking playing the game, be it on a CRT, be it on a fucking flat screen. If you're playing the SNES library, if you're playing on original hardware, play it whatever the fuck way you want. But who
yeah.
gives a fuck about what someone else says, like some complete stranger that you'll never meet in your entire life? Who gives a fuck what way they say you should play a game? You play it your way. Like that's my opinion. If it's on easy mode, play it on fucking easy mode. If you want to if you want to fucking challenge yourself and you want to try it in hard mode, but
It's
like
always like a
if the
projection of someone
options are
who's just
there,
fucking unhappy in their fucking life in general, and
Mm.
they like, how is that the thing you find to pick? Do you know what I mean? Like, how is that the thing? Like, sometimes people even come into stream chat and be like, "I think you look a bit stupid, and I hate you." You're like, all right, man, no
Yeah.
problem, dude. You know what I mean?
Delusional.
But it's the same way with it. Mary, rant, go.
Oh, I just, I think maybe as a woman on Twitch, I probably get it worse than maybe other people, but
Mhm.
man, the gatekeeping, the people that come in and they argue with me and they go, actually this game isn't actually retro, whatever, or you're not actually playing the game because you're playing with save states, or
Mhm.
back when I played this, blah blah blah. It's like, I didn't ask how you
You're
played
a
it. This is
woman, and I'm
my
sexually attracted to you, and it makes me angry that that's happening. And as a result, I
I
hate you. And you're actually stealing other men's views because I swear, if you didn't look,
I had someone I had someone come in one time. I was playing Pokemon. I was playing Pokemon. I believe it was Heart Gold. I was doing like a Nuzlocke randomizer.
Do you know what they are,
And
Sorry,
Nisha?
what? No, what's that?
Nuzlocke.
what's a
You would
what?
like this. You would like this. Nisha doesn't know what a
Oh,
Nuzlocke is.
you don't
This is
know.
a modern term as well. So this is interesting because
Okay.
randomizers is something you do, and Nuzlocks is another thing you do.
Yeah,
Okay, so
and you
hit
can
me.
combine them.
Oh, you
But
combine them? Yeah, I suppose
yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Nuzlocke basically if for Pokemon, so
I just first
basically
of all, sorry to interrupt you. I think this is going to blow Anisha's mind, and it might make him replay Pokemon.
yeah,
Yes.
it's a new way to play. So basically, you when you catch a Pokemon, you have to name it. You can only catch one Pokemon per route or area.
Mhm.
If that Pokemon dies, that's it. It's like it's dead in real life, and you have
No
to put it in
way.
a box,
It's
and you can no longer,
dead.
yeah, you can no longer use it.
No
So
way.
it makes you form this emotional attachment to
Fuck.
all of your Pokemon. So
Oh man.
basically, what you get is what you get.
And
Yeah.
if all your
And if
Pokemon
you,
die, you have to restart.
yeah, and if all of them faint
No.
in battle, you start over from the very
Oh.
beginning. Yep.
That's
hmm
fucking deadly, isn't it?
Yeah,
Holy
man.
shit, man. Yeah, that's fucking
I think
class.
Nisha just found his first stream idea,
Oh,
man. I could see
Yeah.
this
that
happening.
sounds so fucking cool. Like,
And if you
yeah.
add randomizer to that, you can have as crazy as you want, but basically your starters could be randomized, and you can
Ah,
even add in random evolutions. So
no
say
way.
you catch like a Bulbasaur,
Yeah.
it could evolve into a Charizard, essentially.
No way.
Like, which is
That is
crazy.
fucking deadly. Oh
Yeah.
shit.
So
That
many
sounds so
possibilities.
good.
The internet is a beautiful thing. Randomizers
Oh.
are wonderful. Modded games are wonderful.
Mhm.
People like to complain about that too, like, oh, you're not playing the original game. But what I was gonna say was,
Every time I hear it, it's like, stop making me horny. It's just
well,
like,
I had this person. I think it was a guy. I'm assuming it was a man, but he came in and he said, "You're too pretty to play Pokemon."
What the
And
fuck?
I was
which is
like,
like
what does that mean?
yeah,
Like,
because
what am I meant to do?
it's
What am I
you get
allowed to play?
you get
Mm.
some of that, like, okay, I get you're trying to call me pretty, but like what, like, and
No,
even that's like
it's so ridiculous. Like, what am I allowed to play then?
Mm.
It's just such a
That's
rude.
fucking crazy.
Yeah, but it happens a lot. But people like to
Mm.
gatekeep really anything, but they'll gatekeep games and how you play a game, and when you play a game. Like, oh, you didn't play Zelda when you were a kid, fake fan. Oh, you don't know you love Zelda, name every
Yeah.
single
Mm.
Zelda fact.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Or
Fuck
You
like,
know?
off, like.
and this is why me and Isha, I think, got on well at the beginning. Do you remember we were like talking about, we were kind of saying like how sometimes people would be like, if we were to bring it back even to a podcast level, where it's like, do you know, like if I was like, if you were saying to me, it's like, oh, have you ever played the first Legend of Zelda? It's like, no. You'd be like, oh my god, like
Yeah,
it's not like what the fuck's wrong with you. It's like that's fucking so exciting for you that you haven't played it and you
yeah,
might get to
yeah.
play it. Do you know what I
Mm,
Yes.
mean?
mm.
It's like,
Absolutely.
if you love something and someone else hasn't done it, like the reaction should be like,
Not to
It's the
ridicule them for
best.
fucking not having played it.
yeah,
Like,
for
Yeah,
not
no,
just
you should be excited and be
yeah,
like, "Oh, you get to experience
absolutely.
this for the first time.
Hmm.
That's so
Hmm.
cool. Like, I wish I could do that."
Yeah, no,
Yes.
totally. I think it's great we're all on the fucking same page with this, because it is like you should. If someone hasn't played, say, your favorite game, you don't be like, I don't know if I thought it was a very Irish thing, to be honest. I didn't know if it was a fucking like global thing, but like where people are like, what do you mean you haven't played fucking Ocarina of Time? What the fuck are you doing? It's like,
yeah, that's a
I
Oh, that's a
worldwide thing.
global thing.
Yeah,
yeah,
That's a
it's
global thing
it's
because people
fucking
are
mad, like.
so horny for Ocarina of Time. Like, that is like the game
Oh,
that
you want to talk about his
everyone.
Nisha? Let's talk about how horny you are for Ocarina of Time.
I love it so much. It's the greatest, in my opinion. And not the greatest. It is my favorite video game of all
Are
time.
you
I
like rock hard
fucking
right now? Like, are you
love it.
pre-imprisoned in there? Like, you were chubba chub. You were chubba chub for a chubbing good time,
My
baby.
laptop's rising off the table. Like it's so fucking good. And then playing through Master Quest recently, Mary, you played through it as well. You know, we were talking
Oh,
about it in
yes.
the Lost podcast that didn't record. It's so fucking cool and it's so weird. But you know what? Actually, I don't know if I mentioned this when we were trying to record the other episode. So going into Master Quest, I knew it was different and I knew it was a bit more difficult, but I was under the impression that there was another temple or another dungeon in the game, like an extra dungeon or a temple in the
Wha
game.
You
So
know
we're
what?
going to retro rumors, kind of.
I
Yeah.
think I heard that too, but so in my
Yes,
playthrough, I'm in Ganon's castle.
right.
I have not encountered any
Yeah,
new
me either.
dungeon,
Me either.
but I know
And
what
I
you're
looked.
talking about
Yeah,
because I heard that too.
no
See,
way.
Nisha told me this when he was playing it, and I checked to see if there was, and I knew there wasn't. And the whole time he's like, still haven't found it yet. And I was like,
How
I
did
felt
it
like
get
I felt like I was
started?
Yeah,
about to ruin a kid's Christmas or something. It's like I can't tell him.
because
I'll just leave him.
I
You
wasn't
didn't want to know.
googling. I didn't want to look up anything
Yeah.
with the game.
And
I
you told
wanted
me
the
you
game.
didn't want me to
Yeah.
tell you either.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
wanted it to be a total shock because if I did just stumble across it, like imagine, like been playing that game for 20 years and fucking love it. So imagine playing it again and discovering a whole new area. You'd be like, how mind blowing that would have been. And then I kind of, towards the end of the game, I kind of accepted my fate and realized that there more than likely
Yeah.
wasn't one. But what a fucking
Oh,
just Ocarina of
imagine
Time.
though, that would be
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, it'd
I
be
But
so
love when
cool.
you discover a new mechanic or someone
Yeah.
comes in, they're like, "Oh, I didn't know you could do that in this
Hmm.
game or use that item this way," or like I love that.
it's just stuff like that, dude. It just gets me
Love it.
excited. And it's like, it brings it back to, again, the way, like, I firmly believe video games are art. Like, obviously, as time goes on, they develop more so. But even, like, Ocarina of Time is art, man. Do you know
Yeah,
the
fucking
story it
right it
tells,
is.
the music, the environments, the world, and how it
Hmm.
captivates us all as kids? Do you know
Hmm.
what I mean? Or adults. Like, Mary, if I said to you, what, like, if I was actually to go from a feeling point of view, when you think the Banjo Kazooie 2, what do you feel?
Oh my gosh, just happiness, exploration, wonder, just yeah, the good cozy fuzzy feeling,
Mm.
excitement, the music, the environment, the characters, the all the things there are to collect and explore. It's just yeah, it just
It's like
gives you a
safe,
good
right? It's like a
yeah.
safe little like nugget of your
Oh
brain.
my
And like
gosh, it just
same
makes
if
me
I
so
said to
happy.
you, Nisha, like Ocarina of Time.
Literally everything Mary just said there. It's that, like, the music, the environment, the happiness, the warm fuzzies. Just it brings you back to your childhood or whenever you first played it and you're experiencing this game for the first time. Just feel like nice, feel good, and it's a good feeling. Do you know what I mean? That's why I
Which is
love
like
retro video games so much.
yeah, and it's why we do this. I think particularly as well, like for me, seeing video games in that light again as well, because when you go back on some of the old stuff, and I said this before, like surrounding yourself with the games you like is like surrounding yourself with like photos of memories. Like, for me, I could look at Halo 2 and I remember the hours I spent with my friends playing and the laughs we had together. Like that game, the cover, the box,
Yeah,
that can instill like a whole 2 years of my childhood, teenage years of
Mm.
hanging out with friends and just having a laugh. Like it's almost like, you know, that photograph, which is so cool.
Yeah.
And that's the nice thing about collecting sometimes as well, you know.
Oh, yeah, it's great, man. What did you get something you were showing? I was watching your stream today, and you were showing off some games. Did you buy some more stuff recently? Did you collect some more stuff recently?
Basically, Nisha has turned me into a whore, a slut, for fucking getting some old games again, right? Because I had this. We were talking about how we collected differently. So,
Mhm.
and like how I collected, I just keep all the stuff I got since I was 7
Yeah, me too.
onwards, and that's kind of like what's in the collection. And yeah, you were saying that in
Yeah,
our
Mary's the
last
same, yeah.
recording.
Yep.
Yeah, that like, you know, unless there's like one or two things that you're like, oh, I need this, you know, that you know you love the game, and then like you see a boxed version that you want.
Yes.
But
Yep.
Nisha, you were saying you can tell us a little bit about your collecting style.
So I kind of started about maybe 8 or 9 years ago. Got back into retro video games. Like when I've been playing video games since I was a kid. You know, Super Mario Bros. And Duck Hunt was the first game I ever played when I was, I don't know, maybe about 3 years old with my brother Aiden. And throughout my whole life I've been playing, but I went along with the times, and you know, I had a PlayStation 2, 3, 4, had like a Xbox 360, like the modern games. And then I remember when one time I saw a Super Nintendo in a friend's house, and it was the first time I'd seen one since my childhood, and the nostalgia just fucking hit me. And then I got a Super Nintendo, and I went fucking bananas on it. Like I just
Like
was
Donkey Kong's
buying
dirty
fucking
donkey ass
his
bananas,
big
like
fat donkey
you're
arse.
like,
I went
ooh, ooh.
fucking mad. Like, I was buying everything, but I was buying shit, man. I had loads and loads and a huge collection of stuff that I never planned on playing, and had no like sentimental value or any kind of desire to play it. So I fucking culled half of it. Like I got rid of hundreds and hundreds of video games, and now I collect to like say games from my childhood that I might want to play again,
Yes,
or
the emotional connection is what
yeah,
you're looking for,
yeah,
right?
but also new games that I'd never heard of. Like I'd never heard of
Yes.
Chrono Trigger until
Mm.
I got into retro gaming, and I didn't even know fucking Conker's Bad Fur Day. Like that game
Oh,
passed me by as a kid,
I love
and
that game so much.
so good.
so yeah, such a fucking great game. So there,
Like literally,
there's
like
the
just
games.
to very quickly just be like, I mean, a part where there's a giant shit singing opera to you.
Great
in
Mighty Pooh,
Conker's Bad.
yeah.
The Great Mighty. How does that song go again?
cool.
I am the Great Mighty Pooh, and I'm going to throw my shit at you.
I love it. It's so fucking good. What a
So
game.
good.
But there's
Conker.
so many as well though. Just this is the thing. Like there's still hundreds and hundreds and thousands of retro video games across different systems that I've never experienced, and that they're brand new games to me or anyone who hasn't played them. They're brand new games. And that's my kind of collecting style now. It's not as like you've gone mad recently, and I fucking love it, man. I love seeing all the stuff you're
Yeah,
buying.
I do have an agenda behind the madness, though. There is
Right.
Mm.
like,
The
because
method to the
obviously
madness.
there is a method to the madness, because obviously I suppose from my point of view, I'm not going to pick up anything off the shelf, but if it catches my eye, I'm like, this looks so terrible, it could be a lot of fun. Option
Yes.
A, right? And I've
Mm.
changed my streams quite, not in terms of its personality or anything like that, but in terms of the content I play has been quite different recently. So it's been
I
kind of
love it.
sticking. Yeah, no,
All the scuffed games,
all the
yes.
scuff
good.
games. Again,
Love
you were
them.
saying that, Mary, like, because you've been watching me for ages, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and like me playing scuffed is just feels right.
It's very
And,
on brand, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like me playing, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here, fucking wiggling my Wiimote, fucking throw my dick around the place, and then nothing happens on screen, and me screaming in an existential dread of why did I choose this as my life path.
So good.
Is content, you know?
Yeah.
But also the gems too, right? It's just like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I would actually say
Oh my
probably one of my
God.
favorite games now. And I'm
Fucking,
on
yeah.
season 2 of Buffy, and I fucking love
Deadly.
it. Do you want to know a funny story about Buffy? Right? The song goes down down, and the drum goes down down, and every time it plays now. Me and Emma are sitting on the couch watching it, and I fucking start imitating the drums and go, and I can never fucking keep up with it. And she's just like looking at me like, oh my fucking God. I was like, will you make me my dinner, Emma? I'm fucking hungry, man. fucking slapping the drums like no tomorrow. Man, try. I want you to all watch Buffy tonight. And I'm going to tell you why, right? This is a Buffy podcast now, and I want to change it. I don't want to talk about games ever again. I just want to talk about Sarah Michelle Gellar because she's great. One of my first crushes as well.
Yeah,
But Buffy. Mary, have you watched Buffy? Nisha,
I've seen some, yeah.
Okay, Nisha, have you watched Buffy?
Yeah, but full disclosure, I'm an angel man. I fucking
so you
Angel.
okay, so you like
Oh.
that PP, you like that
Look,
that
he's
vampire.
fucking hot as fuck, yeah, but I just that show fucking got me.
I'm more Spike, man. I think, to be honest with you, if I was between Angel or Spike, I think Spike is the man who would get my PP suckled. But I realized how close it is to Twilight as well.
No, here we go.
Here
we go again.
It is close. No, I'm watching Angel and Buffy scenes. I'm like, this is Twilight definitely fucking like the brooding fucking vampire who's way older than your one, who's also like, oh, we can't be together, we must be together. Also, I didn't realize how fucking scuffed Buffy is. Holy fuck, dude.
Really, yeah.
The first season. I'm so sorry, Mary. I'm totally going to get back to you as the guest in a second, but
No,
this is just so
you're good.
important.
Go.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So in the first episode, there was a demon trapped in the internet. There was a girlfriend who was a praying mantis. Nothing to do with fucking vampires. There was. Oh my god! What else was there? There was like fucking zombies. It was Monster of the Week. It was Scooby Doo. Now the second season is really kind of starting to get a connective tissue going. The first one was like, here's 12 random episode pilots. Let's see what sticks. Anyway, I'm so sorry. That's Buffy, guys. Watch it. It's on Disney Plus. We are sponsored by Sarah Michelle Gellar. She's coming on the podcast next week, and everything is great. And and try and do the drums. And if you have a chance, put on your sonic slippers, run around the house listening to the theme song while punching things. Because if you want to relive your inner childhood, that's what I did, and it's a good time. Thank you.
Oh, amazing. I'm sold. I should rewatch it.
I'm tempted to watch it actually. And
did I do a good job?
Yeah, you've sold it to me. You've sold it with the
I'm
game,
sold.
the fucking Buffy game, man. And how good does that game look for an Xbox original? What the fuck?
And this is what I was getting back to, right? It's me going out, buying a game like that, and then playing it on stream and turning it into something. It's transformative for me. It's like it makes my heart happy.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like I went out and I got some weird things for a couple of euro, and then I go home and I'm playing it. I'm having fun playing it, and people are having fun watching it, and it's turning into something. You know, it's
the best.
Yeah, that's what's made me like really happy streaming the last like month since I kind of changed things around a little bit. Speaking of which, Mary, how do you keep things fresh when you're a streamer for you?
Oh gosh, that's a great question. I mean, you could do so many different things. You can change up channel points, you can change alerts, the games you play. I mean, really anything, whatever it is, whatever would help you feel that spark again.
I suppose the question that I have is, did you feel like you've ever lost your spark and then you found a way to get it back?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think that comes in waves sometimes too, especially if you're having like a, maybe a slower month or something, and it kind of gets you down. I mean, like I was saying before, numbers don't define your success, but if it's something that you love and it's something you're passionate about, you are going to want to see it do well. And one way to measure that is through numbers, through views or subs or whatever. So if you are having like a slower month, it does kind of, get you down. It shouldn't make you stop, because I think there are so many streamers, like we talked about this in the other recording. There are so many streamers that have amazing content, but maybe they just don't have as big of an audience. And it doesn't mean that their content isn't as fun or entertaining. It's just maybe Twitch just doesn't promote their streams, or there's so many factors. But as far as like keeping things fresh, like I think it just depends. Like you just have to kind of see what's getting you down on stream. Like, oh, maybe you're not vibing with the kind of game, or maybe you're like, oh, I haven't added anything new and exciting, like channel points wise, or anything interactive on my stream. I could do that, or there are lots of different things I think you can try.
Yeah, because sometimes it's very easy, I think, to get caught in the like, you can lose yourself in it sometimes, in the sense that you're like, wait, who am I making this for? Do you know, like you can almost get into like a routine. It's like, oh, I'm doing this again, or you're playing something, and as you said, you might be doubting what you're doing. And I think when you start doubting what you're doing anyway, you're in a headspace where you're like, you can't have fun. Because like
That's imposter
if
syndrome. Yeah.
yeah, right. So like if you're kind of in
Huge.
the moment and you're like, you know, if you're streaming, you're like, what the like. You know, you're not authentic to even being present, right? Like to kind of existing in what you're making. You're just kind of thinking to yourself, like, am I even liking this? Do you know, or like it could be anything, right? But I think there's this thing where I think where like you do try and chase what you think's going to work, and then you
Oh
realize
yeah.
what you're chasing, what you think will work equals you not having a fun time because you're chasing
It
something that you
can.
think's it well I
Can
mean
be
it
fun.
can, sorry,
Yeah.
but like there's the element of the fact that you're not chasing what you like what you want to do, you're chasing what you think will work. And obviously some they can obviously cross over and it can be a lovely
Yeah.
happy marriage, but like for the most part, like if you're just like if you don't like Fortnite and you play Fortnite, because you know there's a lot
Oh
of people who watch Fortnite, do you know that's like a path to disaster, do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like you could get lucky or whatever and you might have a good time playing a game you're not really into, but it comes back. Like Nisha today had a
Mm.
lovely conversation with the gentleman Mr. Girda, who
Yeah.
was on stream, and he was saying today he was inspired by our podcast to start his own bedtime story podcast
Oh,
stream, right?
No
that's
Because
so
way.
cool.
he has a
What?
lovely because he has a lovely voice, right? A really proper beautiful voice. He came on the stream, like we were chatting live like we are now,
Yeah.
and he was like he was inspired by the fact that, and I think this is what it boils down to, and Mary, you probably maybe have to add to this, but he said like when you talk about something and you get so like the energy of us being excited about it, or and you know, whether it's streaming or this podcast or whatever you do in your life, the energy of like you us being like, oh yes, I fucking love that, and then a memory strikes us and we're like, oh, when I was a kid I loved doing this, and there's that energy that radiates from having that conversation that's like infectious.
Mhm.
Like he was like, I want, like he was like, that's what I want with, you know, what he's doing, because he wants to go back to a time where he wants to read the bedtime stories that his dad read him, and he wants to like
That's
and
so
he wants
nice.
So
to
cool.
bring in that, like, because he has trouble sleeping and stuff like that, so he wants to do a podcast to help people sleep by reading all those stories, and he has such a lovely voice to do it with that he wants to do that. I was like, that's awesome. Like
That's
I
that's,
fucking
love that.
deadly, man.
do you know,
That's
that's where
so
you find
cool.
something that you're passionate about, that like, you know,
Mm.
resonates with you from either being a kid or whatever, and then you inject that into something, do you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's contagious. I think I tell this to people all the time if they ask for streaming advice. I'm like, you have to play what you want to play and stream what you want to stream, because if you are having a genuinely good time, that is infectious. If you're laughing and joking around and happy, the people that are
Mm-hmm.
watching are also going to feel those things. And if you're miserable and you're just
100%.
playing what's popular, you know, you're going to be down. That's infectious too. It goes both ways. So
Yeah,
you have to do what makes you happiest,
I would
and
almost say it's
people will
number one
join.
nearly. Now, not that you'll always be happy doing what you do. You go through
Well,
like
yeah,
figuring
of
out what
course.
you get passionate about and what gets you excited. But
Yeah.
what do you think,
That's
Nisha?
I fucking totally agree with what you're saying. And now again, I'm not a streamer. I don't make YouTube or anything like that.
It's totally as
But
relevant as the
From
just
the viewer
podcast.
point, though, I
yeah, but
mean, if you're
from my
watching a
point of view,
streamer, yeah.
yeah, like fucking totally do. I think anyway, if I was to start streaming,
Mm-hmm.
I would stream what I wanted to play, not what I think would work for people to watch my stream.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
take for instance this podcast, yeah. Keith, me and you go off on fucking crazy tangents. We ramble, we curse as much as we want, we say whatever we want, and we're not trying to adhere to the retro gaming community necessarily. We're making a podcast
I
that's
don't even think we've
inspired.
thought about the retro gaming community when
There you
I
go.
think about it. You
There
know,
you go.
I've never
There you
even
go.
thought about
But
like
it's
in my head we live in our own bubble.
yeah, yeah,
And it's the feedback we get back is the nice part about it. But like, I don't think we've ever been like, let's check the landscape and what people think
Mm.
about
yeah.
90s versus 80s video game. You know, I don't think we've ever.
Yeah, but like it's so we make the podcast that we want to make, that's fun for us to make, and obviously it's inspired by retro video games and video games in general, but we're not doing it purposely to appease fans, you know what I mean? Like, because again, anyone who has listened to this podcast, like, I'm sure there's plenty of people who have listened who don't gel with it because they might think they might listen to, say, an episode that they think is going to be about one thing, but we end up rambling for 40 minutes. And like,
Mary,
I
do you have
know,
a favorite ramble from the, you know, and
but
this
like,
isn't
my
it. But go on, sorry, go on
no,
first.
but like,
go on first.
I'm saying, like, but we're doing. The question you asked me is, what are my thoughts on
Mhm.
like what you play and why do you play it, yeah.
Mhm.
And for me to relate it to what I do and what we do is the podcast, and obviously it's heavily inspired by retro video games because that's my passion, that's what I love. But we let the conversation go. That's the one thing we've always said, is we'll let the conversation go wherever it wants, and
Mhm.
because that's the fun thing. We're not doing an episode about Earthbound and Chrono Trigger and the big games just to appease the retro community.
Sure, I get
We're
you.
doing a fucking an episode on sleepover stories here. Like, it's whatever the fuck we want to do, man. And I thoroughly enjoy it and would not fucking change it for anything. I think we're very lucky, myself and yourself, Keith, and it's great to have Mary on because Mary's seems to have the very same kind of opinions on things that we do with regards to video games. And it's Mary, for the second time, has been on the podcast now, even though the last podcast is lost, but is a great guest. And it's about doing what I think you do what for you, what you love. And again, like, I'm after
And with the
rambling and
people
talking
you love
shite for
doing it with.
a few minutes here now. Yeah. But that's the thing. Yeah, absolutely. But that's going back to your community and platforms and stuff like that. But I think you should, or sorry, not what you should, but what I would do is, and what I think is the right way of doing things for me, is to follow what you enjoy and not what you think other people are going to enjoy. Do it for yourself and
Sure.
not for other people. And look at, if they
It's
like
kind of
it,
that's
they
the only
like
way
it.
you can
If they don't,
authentically do something at the very least.
that's
Yeah.
my approach anyway. I'm not
Mhm.
saying it's what anyone should do. I never,
Mhm.
again, it's the same, like playing a video game a certain way, fucking using save states, playing on easy mode. You do whatever way you want to do it. This is just my thoughts on how I personally approach things. I never want to say anyone should or shouldn't
Mhm.
do something when it comes to playing a fucking game or
Sure.
creatively. You know what I mean? So that's my. I know I went off on a bit of a tangent there, but
No, I
it's
felt
something I'm
like it was
passionate
needed.
about.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm passionate about it. Like,
yeah. I was just giving space. I think we're all just giving space. And Nisha's just like, drop the mic. Fuck this. I'm out, man. Fucking done, boy.
You know what?
I'm basically saying is, you fucking can do what you want, but if you don't do it the way, I'll fucking kill you.
I see that bit of silence, man. I'm leaving that in. I'm not taking that. That was
leave
beautiful.
that whole bit
was,
in.
we ended my fucking rant. Well, sorry,
I love
right,
it.
Mary. I have a question, right? Because
Okay.
you're
Hang
coming.
on, before you go on to your fucking question now, you fucking crazy bastard. Mary, do you have anything to add to that? Are you okay?
Sorry, yeah. No, sorry. I was going to ask.
Mary, I'll tell you what. No, I'll fucking give you another one. And give you another one, and you tell me what you like.
This isn't the Nisha show.
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
oh my god. Okay, Mary, can
I'm
you ask
running
me
away
a
with it.
Sega-related question, and I'll pretend to be Nisha for a second.
What year did Sonic the Hedgehog?
1990.
No!
No!
Fucking spit out my drink. Brilliant. See, if this is somebody's first episode, this is what I fucking love about the way we do it, man. Is if this is somebody's first episode, they're not familiar with the fucking lore of the podcast and the background
They're
jokes.
gonna be like,
and
what
I
am I
know.
listening to?
yeah. And if they
Go
like,
back and listen. You gotta
Go back
know.
and Mary, do you have a genuine question? Because I mean, we don't really get to ask, and not to put you on the spot or anything. You
Yeah.
can check very quickly on Spotify if you need. Did you have a particular favorite episode?
Oh gosh, I really like the Christmas one.
oh yeah,
That one had me laughing
Interesting.
so hard.
That's so interesting because I feel like that's like our least successful episode, is it?
Really? I love
that's
it. Well,
because
hard
it's
for me to-
seasonal, man.
Well, man, dude, it doesn't matter
Next
anyway. Like,
Christmas
when
and
I say
fucking
least
Blitz.
successful, I just mean, in terms of fucking numbers. I don't know. Don't give
Well,
out to me.
I've
It's
listened
because
to
it's
all of them.
seasonal.
I liked that one. I like the Halloween one because you go. I'm pretty sure that's the one where you go on like a 40-minute rant and then you go, "Oh my god, we've been talking for 40 minutes and we haven't even discussed games yet."
yeah. Not a single video game mentioned for
So
40
good.
minutes.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
they're all
fuck.
great though. They're all funny in their own way.
This
and-
is going to be your favorite
Thank
one,
you.
though, now.
well,
very
I don't know about that. It's weird when it's me,
Well, I've been
Why
talking
is,
shite for
why
the
is
last
it?
one.
Why is it? Yeah,
Well,
Nisha really
sorry,
went on. I mean,
sorry.
normally Nisha gets to give out to me, but Nisha, you really went on. I'm only joking.
No.
You really
You
went
said
on
it
a
so
lot.
well, though. Honestly,
No, you actually said it perfectly. I'm just ripping the piss out of you because normally I'm the one who goes on a long tangent and does the thing. So it's nice to hear you something you're passionate about and what you fucking believe in.
Yeah, it's
Thank you.
great.
But right, Mary, I have a question for you, and not about the
Hair!
not from
Hair,
a
Mary!
creative thing, but actually, shit, I mentioned the question at the very start. Sorry, before I forget, and it's a question for both of you, and it is
Oh, yeah.
relation to being creative and stuff like that. So you mentioned about like so you both stream on Twitch, and that's your main platform. What is it about Twitch that you chose? Like, why Twitch is the platform now? Was it that it was the only one at the time? Because I know you can stream on YouTube now, you can stream on Twitch, you can stream on Facebook, you can stream on TikTok. There's a lot of variety there. What is it about Twitch that has been your platform of choice, basically? And this is a question for both of you, because you were saying about something could go like there was a platform called Mixer, which I think was Microsoft's, and that's gone. And then anyone what if you're like really successful there and you're just fucked overnight, like? And I'm
Sure,
not
like
to put a negative spin on things. I'm not trying to put a negative spin. I'm just curious.
But you're asking why Twitch, right?
Yeah, why Twitch?
Yeah.
Well, for me, the community, like the people that I've met there, that's what keeps me going. That's what I miss on these other platforms, is not having that community. Because sure, you can have another platform and you can get people over, but it's just not the same. You're I don't know, it's just this sense of community and all these streamers and people you follow, and then they follow other cool people and you meet them, and it's just this like big community of really cool people from all over the world. So for me, that's why.
Cool.
Is there like a side question into it though as well? Is like, didn't Instagram have a no? You know what? There's two facets to it. The live element means that when you're connecting with a human, I think you connect with them. I don't think you can connect. I don't think there's a better medium than connecting with the community or a fan base or whatever you have. I think fans is icky, and I think the word I meant to say as well. I think the word gamer icks me.
He hates the word gamer.
I hate the word
What?
gamer.
Yeah.
I hate the word gamer, man.
Do you really? Yeah.
I do,
He
just
hates
because I hate it as like it's almost like
Like a
saying I'm an
label.
yeah, it's almost like, I don't know, it's always, I feel like it just has a negative, like I'm a gamer and this is the right way to play a game. And
Not a
I
real
almost feel like,
gamer if you don't-
yeah, like, do you know the term? It's
Oh,
like
right,
a
like,
gamer only
yeah.
says you're not a real gamer almost. It's like saying I'm an eater. It's like, you know, it's like,
Right.
I feel like everyone plays a game to a certain capacity, and having the title means you have to nowadays reach a certain standard to fit into the title. And I think when anyone talks about being a gamer, it almost comes with that automatic sense of entitlement that I reached this title by playing 2,000 hours of this, 2,000 hours of that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you play fucking Candy Crush on your phone, fuck you, you're not a gamer.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, there's that kind of weird tangent to it.
I get you.
And also, we were watching a clip of Elijah Wood talking about being a gamer, and it gave me the ick.
Is that an Irish phrase?
Like,
Give me the ick?
It was when he was joking, like he was ripping the piss because they were talking about the creation of the game, and he's like, "Yeah, the other two aren't gamers. I'm the only real gamer out of my group," and all
Was he
this
being
stuff.
sincere, or was he taking
It was satirical, like a little bit, but it was just a bit of crack. But
I thought ick is ick not a global term given something.
I've never heard anyone else do it other than you. I heard Owen
really?
do it as well, the give me the ick thing. Yeah, no, I don't think it's a thing anywhere else. So it's funny to me. I like it though. It's accurate, you know, it gives you that icky feeling.
It's like, ew!
Yeah. It gives you the cringe minge.
Yeah,
Your
the
minge
cringe
cringes. Yeah.
Your minge cringes, it just
it
shrivels
goes
up.
in on itself. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I feel that.
Keith, is it the same for you? Community, is that why? Twitch?
So the other part, like I was obviously thinking about Instagram being, we essentially all met on Instagram, the three of us.
Mhm.
Like even before Twitch, right? So like I would have been tagging Mary and shit. That's how I forced Mary to be my friend. It's a good story. I was like Gollum behind the scenes, be like, "My precious," and like, you know, being like, "Come watch my stream."
Yeah, pretty much. He shouted himself out at me over and over and over until finally one day I was like, okay,
you know that thing that goes,
what
Alan!
is this?
Alan!
Yeah.
Alan!
I
I was
finally
like, Mary!
broke-
Mary!
Yeah.
Mary!
I was like, what does this man want from me? I didn't even really know Keith. I knew him from Instagram, like pictures, because I had
Right.
been following
I
him.
was
but
all
he
for
was,
clout, boy. You just tag the best people you can find and
he
hope
was
for the
just
best, lads.
tagging me, and I finally was like, okay, what is this? So I started watching clips, and I was like, okay, actually, this is this is pretty funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see,
Let me
thank
just
God,
go
right?
check it
Otherwise, it would
out.
have been a
Yeah.
block.
Yeah, and then I went into Keith's stream and he was playing Wind Waker, and I was like,
The
oh,
best game
I'm
of all time.
hooked. Yeah, I'm hooked. This is, yep, I'm gonna come back. Yep, here we are.
And here we are. That's kind of
Crazy.
fucking wild, isn't it?
I
Isn't it
know, it's
wild
weird.
when you actually think about all our journeys, really? You know, how
Yeah.
the three of us are sitting here today talking
I
is
know.
all because of video games. And if
There you
that
go.
isn't if that isn't a fucking advertisement to, you know, the power and the passion that people have over being gamers.
This is mad. I didn't know you had that feeling.
It's I say it with a bit of jest.
Ah,
I mean,
yeah.
you know what I mean. It's like it's when people. It's the self-acclaimed
How it's
title,
used.
Yeah, it's how it's context. It's
Sure.
context.
Yeah.
I
But
agree with that.
it's no, but the Twitch scenario, like it's the live aspect. Like, as in, I think my skills and talents lay in the moment, in the improv,
Mm.
and hopefully being able to, like, because if I can talk to someone, and also I really like doing it in the moment. Like, imagine having to message like so many people,
Oh,
like, you know, like on your
gosh.
comments on a YouTube video and trying to connect to them that way. But
It's
if I can
exhausting.
talk,
Yeah.
right. If I can talk in the moment and express how I feel in that moment, and that's conveyed, then they got that feeling. And the biggest thing I learned in therapy is that, like, don't be so concerned with how you word something or how you say it. It's the human connection you're making. It's how you make someone feel. Like, people at the end of the day will leave either, you know, a piece of art or a stream or even a therapy session knowing how the human connection works and how that made them feel, not entirely, you know, the wording of what you're doing. So it's really nice to be able to convey those emotions when someone's live in the moment. And, you know, you can, if you have skills to work with that too. Now, not everyone's that way. Some people prefer to be able to think their process and word it out carefully and what they want to say. But it's definitely the live connection. And I think I can build relationships with people. I can build up a good rapport and build a trusting, non-judgmental space once I can conduct myself in the moment. And to prove that fact, like, if someone comes in and does something, you know, we're not happy with, that can be dealt in the moment too. And then people know, okay, look, he won't allow this happen, or, you know, maybe there's few and far in between, but
Yeah, that's a
you
whole
know,
other thing.
yeah, but
Yeah.
but yeah, so it's that. And then I, out of the podcast, I get this kind of like being able to kind of have a bit more of a refined thought process. Do you know, it's a bit more we're looking at something and we're kind of talking about it more, and we can have more of an in-depth discussion because I'm talking to you too, and I'm talking to Mary.
Yeah.
And that has a different creative satisfaction. But that's why I like Twitch as a platform, the live aspect. But specifically Twitch over like Mixer. The first platform I streamed on was a thing called Ustream, and that was before Twitch.
Oh man.
All right. So
And that
Twitch
was just,
I was under the impression, sorry, that Twitch was the first stream.
well,
platform.
I don't know if it was the first or not, but obviously there was others in conjunction when I discovered what streaming even was.
Right.
You know, and from PlayStation you could either stream to Ustream or Twitch. They were the two options when you booted up your PS4.
Yeah.
And we were like, Twitch must be too saturated by now, 7 years ago. If we thought it was too saturated then. Oh,
Well, and Twitch used to be Justin TV.
yeah, that's the crazy thing. It was called Justin TV.
Yeah, it was
which I only
weird.
was like recalled about the other day. Yeah,
It was
Mhm.
called what? Justin TV.
Justin TV.
Yeah, Justin TV.
That's a bit weird, isn't it? Why,
Yeah.
what,
Was
like,
it a bit? I think it was a bit
And-
more like anything on it, right? Was it just like, oh yeah, there's fucking, like, was it a bit the Wild West? Or
I
was
think
it-
so, and then it eventually became more of like a gaming thing, and then they rebranded to Twitch.
All right. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. Right, so you're almost finished Zelda, Mary. Yeah, you've
Mhm.
finished the whole series, which is absolutely incredible. What a fucking series.
Yeah, it's
Just
been great.
what game, or has there been a standout game for you that's your favorite in the whole
Oh
series?
yes, well, a few.
Okay.
So I might get.
Can we get a
flack
can I get a ranking order? Can I up the ante? Can
we
I
can't do that. I actually said I would
roughly
do
roughly?
well, I said I was gonna do like a tier list when I finished all of them.
Oh, okay, so
I
it
can't-
remains
I can't
secret.
do that, yeah.
No, that's all right.
So a couple things that surprised me.
Yeah.
I loved the Zelda CDI games. I
Really?
know
Yeah.
that they're because people come in and they go, "Oh, you didn't play those, did you?" And I was like, "I did, and I love them because of the scuff, kind of what
Yes.
Yeah.
Keith
It's the
loves.
same. Yeah. It's
They
like,
are
can I
so
just make it?
stuffed.
Sorry to interrupt you there. I just want to make it like a slight point about anything media related. The worst thing that something can be for me is bland. So in other words, it's
Yes.
boring.
Oh my
Right?
gosh,
That
yes.
if something sits there, it's like it's intolerable to me.
Mhm.
But if something is
Yep.
so bad, it's funny, or it has
Yeah.
like such like it doesn't make sense, or it's wacky and it's a bit of a
It's
trip.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah, then
That's
it's like
that's what the
that's.
CDI games are. They
Mhm.
are so just the whole time you're just, what is this game?
Mm.
It's so weird. So those games were just very surprising to me because I'd only ever
Cool.
heard negative comments. Oh, they're so
Yeah.
bad, they're so bad. But those were great. But I had never played Oracle of Ages or Oracle of Seasons. And
Oh, right.
now
Have you played them,
Oracle of
Nisha?
No.
They're the
they
Game Boy ones. Game Boy Color. I think there was a Game Boy Color re-release. Was there, or is it the Game Boy Color, Mary?
I think they're Game Boy they're in color, so Game Boy
Yeah.
Color.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Oh my god, don't come for
Oh,
me.
I
But
know it was Link's Awakening that I got a color remake from
yes,
Game Boy.
Link's Awakening
Link's
yes.
Awakening
DX.
DX.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
The Oracle games though, I had never played either of them, so
Cool.
that was my first blind playthrough to both. And those games, Oracle of Ages specifically, is now in my top 5 Zeldas. I have to put it
nice.
above Ocarina of Time.
Ooh.
Sorry about my dog. I have to
Bilbo!
I have to put it above Ocarina of Time. I loved it so much. The
Deadly.
puzzle solving, the music, the art style, just so good. Such a
Nice.
good game just for puzzles. Like if you love Zelda for the puzzles,
Am I
that's
right
the
in
game for you.
thinking that Oracle of Ages is the puzzle one and Oracle of Seasons is the combat one? Didn't they like
Yes,
separate the
correct.
games?
They both are. They're both of those things, but definitely Oracle of Ages is more puzzle based. Oracle of Seasons is more combat based. Very difficult boss fights, but just oh my gosh, amazing. And I got to experience them for the very first time,
It makes a
and
difference.
that was so cool.
When you experience something for the first time as well, and particularly I think,
amazing.
you know, like
Yeah.
Nisha, even if I give you like an old game to play and you're experiencing it for the first time, but like obviously if you were playing something you know and love, like, but when you have the first time, it's a bit more memorable, right? Because like
Yes,
you
it's
can confuse
special.
your previous playthroughs, you know, when
Sure.
having done them all the time and like stitch them together as one in your head.
Mhm.
But yeah, for sure, I think when it's a new experience with a franchise you already love, but you just never got around to playing it, you're like, oh fuck,
Oh,
this is like
so cool.
it's literally like going into a fucking time machine. It might as well be going
Yeah.
into a fucking time machine
Yeah.
and getting out, and it's like it's fucking 1996. Fucking Pokemon's out. I'm fucking clipping my Game Boy to my belt. Mary, and you, I believe last time you told me you had the magnifying glass of hotness and coolness for your Game Boy as well. Did you?
No, it wasn't that. It was it's a clip-on light, and then
Oh,
I
yeah.
had a little flip screen protector
Nice.
too, which I
That-
felt so cool when I
That just
closed it.
radiates. I mean, that's like what radiates the definition of sexy. Do you know?
Oh yeah, oh so sexy, yeah.
Do you know, actually, I played through Link's Awakening for the first time ever. Only a couple
That's a
of
good
years,
game,
only
too.
about 2 or 3 years ago.
On the
It was-
Switch? Or
No, so when the Switch remake was announced, I'd never even heard of it until then. I had seen that there was a Zelda game on the Game Boy, and that was as far as I had gone with the game. And then when that remake was announced, I was curious about it, and then I bought it at a convention, and it is like it's up there. My top 3 Zelda games might be Ocarina of Time, A Link.
Could it actually? Can you kind of tell me a little bit of what like even the top like of all the ones you've played? Could you give me a little ranking? Because I'm so curious.
Yeah, so my favorites are Ocarina of Time, A Link to the Past, Link's
Is
Awakening.
Link to the Past second?
Yeah, I think so, because I just think
Mhm.
it's such like it's a
that
beautiful game. It just looks so
Amazing.
good. It plays so good. The music,
I still haven't finished
dungeons,
it.
the puzzles. Keith, I cannot
Keith.
recommend it enough. It's so
Yeah.
good. It's so fucking good.
You know what? Now that I'm on this kind of retro binge, I think it would be perfect. And stream keeps me a little bit accountable for finishing things.
Hmm.
Do you know, like it not by
Yeah.
my community, but just to myself. Do you know?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
try
Same,
if I
me
enjoy.
too.
Yeah, and it's a great reason to play stuff I'd never play.
Yes.
Like I'd played Sonic and the Secret Rings, and I love that game. Like I love the levels, but fucking flicking a Wii remote like this left and right, trying to make him go backwards when he's on a track forwards. But then the music was like sucking in my dick. I'm gonna
music-
fly through the stars, and I'm like, I think I'm having fun.
Yeah.
It keeps you going. Yeah, it keeps you the music. That's what I'm saying
I'm
about
s-
Sonic. It
And it's
doesn't
so
matter what the game
memorable
is.
to me. It's so memorable to me now. Like I will remember that game for fucking ever because I like was committed to finishing it, and that was the challenge. So that's a really cool thing, and I can hear
yeah.
Mary's like agreeing with the two that like
Yeah,
you
definitely.
you'll play shit you like if you're sitting on a couch, you're like, oh, I'll just try Netflix.
Mm.
Do you know, it's the almost the equivalent to renting a video. Once you have it, you're like, I have to do
Yes.
this now.
Yeah, it holds
Do
you
you know?
accountable. It makes you, especially if you get people invested and they're like,
Mhm.
oh, you got to finish this game, and yeah, stream gives you that
Okay,
ability.
Yeah.
it does. So Ocarina of Time, Link to the Past, which I must finish.
Link's Awakening on the Game Boy, which again only played recently, and it's up there. I know it didn't make my top 10 favorite games because we could only have one per franchise, but it's up
Yeah.
there because it's
We
like,
could
it's
we
a
could
great
do
game.
another top 10
Could,
sometime. That would be fun.
absolutely. Majora's Mask, which I have only played through once as a kid, but I do like it. It's a very cool and weird game. But like Twilight Princess was a great one. Wind
Love
Waker,
Twilight
I have to
Princess.
remember Wind Waker, which
Wind Waker above Twilight
again,
Princess, fight me forever.
How
when
dare you.
when I was a kid, I was like, I saw Wind Waker coming out, had just played through Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, and was like, this is for fucking kids. It's all cartoony, and I was just a fucking stupid kid. And then it was only years later, like within the last, say, maybe 5 or 6 years, that I played Wind Waker, and again, like graphically, what a fucking beautiful game! Like,
Ageless.
Still
it's
beautiful. Yeah.
possibly the best, visually the best looking game in my opinion ever. And even taking into consideration modern games, I think the style of Wind Waker is just, for me anyway, I think it's fucking incredible, which I think is ironic considering when I was a kid, that was the very reason that I didn't want to play it. And we
Yeah.
were only
Yeah.
talking about how we have changed over the
Yeah, and
years,
you grow up and you
and
see things
that
differently.
is only actually after registering me now. That's the reason why I didn't want to play it as a kid, and now it's why I think it's one of the fucking nicest looking video games of all time.
The soundtrack will make me cry. Like,
Yeah, it's so good. So good. So
It's
good.
It's so
it's
good. It makes you want to go on an adventure. The sailing music, Dragon
Oh.
Roost, Outset Island, Windfall. Oh my gosh, amazing. Yeah.
Did you see the new vinyl collection of it that came out? It is the most
No.
gorgeous thing. On the back, you can put it on the back, so it comes in a big set box, right? And there's 4 vinyls, all with like sea colored on the actual
No
vinyl disc themselves.
way.
And on the back, there's the whole map of the region in 3D on the
Oh,
back of the
shut
box.
up. I'm buying
And when you
that.
put it up and down, water is actually in the case and it splashes up and down on the islands with
What?
squids and stuff. It is
Shut
beautiful.
up. I need it. Oh my god, I'm buying that. I need that in my
Beautiful,
life.
like. But yes,
Deadly.
I agree. I think once what the thing happened with the art style of that game is it didn't matter how powerful your machine was past the GameCube, the art style like was peaked in it. Like, it's not like, I don't think the artists who had the GameCube as the hardware basically would have said, shit, we need more power to get this to look a certain way. I think like the cell shading they used, the 2D, like they had all the tools they needed to literally visualize what they had in their head onto a system. I don't think it was a case like you're playing like Gears of War and you're like, oh, we could have better shaders, we could have better lighters, more polygons per character to make a move smoother. I feel like for the style of the cartoon cell shading they want to go with, I think it was just there. It was just done.
Mm.
I have a different opinion on this actually.
Yeah?
Of well, as far as like graphics for
Mhm.
video games, I think the Super Nintendo is perfect. I think pixel art in particular, like I think A Link to the Past is the best aged game, one of the best aged games.
But
I
doesn't that
think it is-
stand to my point more than go against it in terms of like if there's an art
Well,
style that can be perfected on
yeah.
the hardware it has, there's nothing more that can be pushed past it,
Yeah, I suppose that's true. But yeah, I just think like that game in particular is just gorgeous. I mean, no matter how you play it, what you play it on, it's always going to look timeless. The pixel art is, and I love that game so much. I love A
And
Link to the Past.
isn't it so interesting that if someone tries to create a modern retro-looking game, it could run on a SNES? It looks as good as any SNES game. Like if someone makes
Yeah.
Shovel Knight or someone
Yeah,
makes,
right.
whatever. Like
Mhm.
the pixel art again is a perfected medium.
Yeah, it's
Well, like
perfect.
to any
Mhm.
like ghouls and ghosts, ghouls, goblins, where the fucking
Yeah.
thing's called.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's. Have you like that's gorgeous?
Yeah,
Like if
Yeah,
you're
I
looking
know,
at
I
the
love it.
waves and the enemies in the background and like the
Mhm.
gothic style, particularly in the first few levels, it's beautiful.
It's art. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
100%.
And I agree, Mary, with the Super Nintendo. Like, if you play any RPG on the Super Nintendo, it just looks fucking great. Like, have you ever played Secret of Mana on the SNES?
I haven't, but I know about it.
Yeah, it's another like, it's as beautiful as A Link to the Past. It's It's so good. I'd highly recommend it. One of my favorite games, and that's again one that I'd never heard of as a kid. Didn't know about growing up, and it was only kind of when I get into retro games that I discovered it and played it and loved it. I'd highly recommend it anyway. But so did you know what actually is the only Zelda game that I started and didn't finish
Can I
because I
take a guess?
didn't like it? Go on, hit me,
Oh.
hit me.
Skyward Sword.
I was gonna guess Skyward Sword as well.
It was Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why did you know that's what it was going to be?
because
Because
everyone says
everyone
that.
feels this
Oh,
way.
really? Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
not
it's a
well.
common
Like
thing.
I
Ah.
remember playing it on the Wii, and the fucking introduction and Fee going, "Hey, hey, 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 hey," and like just reading text and text and text, and I was like, then I was trying to control the Wii and put my sword up, and I was like, just fucking trying to move
The
your
motion controls.
Oh,
That's why
Ah.
people don't like it because of the motion controls.
I
Right.
just also feel it's just it has areas it excels in better than other games, but I think
I
it just
agree.
has these. It
Yeah.
has just, but it just has these lower point. I think it's consistently an issue. Like it has some amazing, beautiful cutscenes and stories and parts and music. My God,
First
there's just
orchestrated Zelda. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
first
cool.
orchestrated Zelda. But
Yeah.
it just has. It's just some of the low points are just so like tedious and
Right.
kind of long.
It's kind of hand-holdy too.
Yes, which
I
makes it
don't
tedious.
like. Yes, yeah.
Right.
Like
Okay.
Breath of the Wild is the opposite of Skyward Sword. Like I don't
Oh,
think without
100%.
Skyward
Yeah.
Sword we would have got Breath of the Wild. Skyward Sword restricted it so much into the handholdy territory that they were like,
Uh-huh.
"Fuck it, Breath of the Wild."
And
Yeah, they throw you in.
would you recommend the Skyward Sword on the Switch because it's not motion control? It's
It actually like is
I
though.
don't.
oh, is
It
it?
can be. You can play with or without.
It's
Okay.
nightmare. The controls are a
So
nightmare though.
I
Like
have an
even
opinion on this
yeah, hit me.
actually because in my Zelda playthrough, I decided stupidly to do a randomizer of Skyward Sword, which is probably the biggest mistake of my entire life because it was hell.
Just
Not
on
only
your
was
gravestone, don't play
just
randomizer
don't
Skyward.
do it. Don't do well because the game is so linear
Right.
that oh my, and there were so many things that I was just like I don't remember this, but the controls. So I played it on a simulated motion controls. So because it was on the computer and not on the Wii or on the Switch,
Okay.
I was using
Press
an
button
Xbox
continue does
controller.
not allow
Yeah,
or condone
you know,
the
we don't
use of any
listen.
ROMs or hacks. Mary owns a physical copy of the game, therefore everything is legally purposed and everything is fine. Thank you.
Yes, Nintendo, don't come for me. But basically, I use an Xbox controller to simulate the motion controls. And the
Okay.
whole time, I was like, this would have been easier if I just had my Wiimote and I could just swing. Because
Yeah.
having to simulate the motion with the joystick was hell.
Right.
And I don't think that game should be without motion controls. I think it's made to be, and it's worse if you do it without the motion controls, in my opinion. I think it's more difficult, but yeah, the motion controls is what put a lot of people off. There are some like mini games and stuff that are hell with motion controls, but they aren't required for like the main game. But if you are trying to 100%, you will scream and pull your hair out and you will hate your life. But long story short, don't play a Skyward Sword randomizer if you like
Right.
to be happy and
If you like yourself.
yeah, if you like yourself and you don't want to age yourself 20 years by playing a game, don't do it.
Very quickly, because I know we're kind of running low on time. I had a couple of like popping questions came into my head there. Nisha, do you have any, and Mary, do you have any consoles that you think are the sexiest? Like I was just thinking there, like in terms of physically looking at a console, like do you have like 2 or 3 that you're like aesthetically looking at them, you think they're fucking the bee's knees?
The first PlayStation 3.
The Spider-Man one
that
that
you
that I'm
need.
looking for. You
Yeah,
would bring
yeah,
that
yeah.
up. The one that I
Sorry.
don't have.
Yeah, the one that you
Oh,
don't have. Yeah.
no.
It was that shine, man. I remember looking at it and thinking that is the fucking coolest.
The bread bin.
Oh man, that and the the fucking not the Master. Yeah, the Sega Master System. I think the Sega Master System, not the Sega Mega. You know the one with the fold over fucking drawer that it has a built-in game in it. That is a fucking sick ass console.
Mary?
I don't know if I really thought about how sexy a console is. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, sexy is just a word I use. You don't need to. I
Well,
don't mean to make it too weird.
Okay, yeah, no, not actually like, attracted to.
I want to fuck it.
I don't
What?
feel that way about the console, but for controllers.
Oh,
I
interesting.
love the see-through controllers.
Yes,
Or
yes.
like N64.
Nice.
They
I
are.
absolutely
Or the
love
see-through
them.
N64s in general. Like, I just need
Oh
all of
yeah,
them.
that is
So
beautiful to
nice.
me. I absolutely
The
love
Game Boy
that.
Color, the purple translucent one.
Yes, yep, Game Boy
That's the
Advance.
one I had.
Mine was see-through as well for
The
that
Game
too.
Boy
So
Advance, I fucking
yeah.
love it so The Game Boy Advance, Nisha, just let me tell you, is a fucking SNES, mobile SNES,
Oh,
and
it's
you need to
Yeah.
get
amazing.
down with
Yes.
it. It
Oh,
is
it's so
all the
good. It
ports from the
is.
Super Nintendo.
What?
Like are
Yeah.
on the Game Boy Advance. You need Nisha stopped after Nisha's the Game Boy Color because you didn't really maybe in your life for what was going on at the
No.
time. You don't have too much Game Boy Advance experience, right?
No, and we had one. Like my
Dude, you like
younger brother and sister had an Advance, and it was in the house.
if you need me to get you excited about something, the fucking catalog for the Game Boy Advance, and Mary,
Oh,
you
it's
tell you
yes.
fucking back this shit up right now.
Hmm.
Do you like it's gonna be such a fun time for you.
Oh, it's great.
Keith, do you know what I have on the Game Boy Advance that I'm going to bring down when I come down next month is a Shrek game,
Oh,
and
shut up. I
it's
want that.
it's
Because I got the
it's
Game Boy
from
player off my friend for the
childhood.
GameCube.
It's from my childhood. It was
It's
from
gonna be
like
so
it was
bad.
Luke Arcades. It was my younger
I
brother's
already
Christmas.
know that's only going to be like I
But
can
I
only play
love
that
it.
once.
It's wasted. It's wasted in my collection. It's yours now. I'm going to bring it
Why don't we
down.
just go down and play it? Why don't we just play it together? We're doing all
Yeah,
night or finish
yeah.
Shrek on the Game Boy Advance
Fucking
on the
why
TV.
not? Why not? I
Mary,
was
do you
just
I
want
thinking
to
live
about
book a
closer,
flight?
man. I want to.
Well,
Yeah.
I tell you what, Mary.
Sorry,
Here's the plan,
Mary.
right? This is our plan now, right? Which you come down, you book a flight next month, right?
Okay.
So
All right.
Yeah.
what we're gonna do is we were planning. We wanted like a proper sleepover where we're gonna buy pajamas. So we're gonna go out and we're gonna buy
Oh,
new
no
pajamas,
way.
right?
Mm.
And then we're gonna fucking forth the shit out of. We're gonna find a game that we want to like fucking. We're gonna like fucking get like fucking snacks. We're gonna order a pizza and we're gonna fucking do the proper like two people in front of a TV staying up all night just finishing whatever the fuck we're gonna do.
That's
Yeah.
so
Then
fun.
the next night we're going to a Grand Theft Auto Vice City gig.
Yes.
So it's
yes.
all
What?
it's yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah.
all the 80s fucking it's all the soundtrack of Vice City playing live.
Oh, I'm so
Cannot
jealous.
And
wait.
then
That's so
we're gonna
cool.
So
suck each
excited.
other off and we're gonna
Oh, you
fucking
gotta.
and
That's
after
Look
part
at
that
of any good sleepover.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
true.
night.
Yeah. Oh man,
can
I
I
can't wait for that fucking gig though. I cannot
Ah,
wait for that
should be
gig.
good.
It's
Should be
gonna
good. Yeah, so
good.
come over, and also if there's anyone in the Cork area who's going to see that gig, fucking say hello.
Yeah.
Oh,
We got
goodies.
last night. We ordered matching GTA Vice City T-shirts.
Oh, it's so cool. It's
Oh, I
cute. I
can't
love
wait.
it. Amazing.
Very quickly, I think the Wii is one of the most underrated, nicest looking consoles of all time.
Yeah.
Like the actual Wii itself with the blue glow and the disc slot, like the boxy white glossy look to
the
it.
little stand
the-
you get with it actually.
Yeah, and the little
slick.
stand, and then there's
Mm,
another stand
yeah.
underneath that stand.
Yeah.
I think that shit's fucking hot as
Yeah, that's
dog
nice.
dick. Dog dick.
Well,
It weirdly works. The PS2 is a glorious looking machine, the original one, I think. I love boxy looking stuff. I love the
Right.
1X as well.
Mm.
I do, right. We must kind of wind down a little bit
Holy fuck, we're nearly
because
at
we're
2
an
hours.
extra
Oh,
we're
holy
extra
shit.
hour into the next episode. So right, I am going to talk to you. I'll see you later.
Bye.
I am curious, right? And this could be a nice little fun guest question. If you were to recommend to someone who is new to retro gaming, someone who is popping along, your top 5 Mary Majora picks, right? Ones that say something about, what you're emotionally tied to. Only one per franchise, by the way. If you were to pick your top 5, it can even be games if you want, if they're modern, that's fine. But ones that would like explain who you are, kind of your own journey, and what you'd recommend to someone else. I'd love to know what they'd be.
One per franchise. Okay. Well, instead of Tui, I'd actually recommend Banjo Kazooie for that. Because I think that Tui is more divisive, and I think you should play the first one first. So that one for the collectathon. For platformers, maybe I mean I love Yoshi's Island so much. Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. That's a great platformer. For Zelda, if I can only recommend one, I think A Link to the Past, because you
Ooh.
get the best feel of what Zelda is
Yeah.
as a game. That's 3. Oh gosh. I'm trying to think of like, oh my gosh, maybe if I had to choose like maybe Pokemon, I would recommend
Nisha's like, yes!
I would maybe my first was Pokemon Heart Gold. I have an attachment to that one.
Cool.
The actual DS version.
amaz- Yeah.
So you didn't have like Pokemon
I
Gold and
didn't
Silver,
have
no?
it growing up. No, yeah, I
wow.
didn't have that. So Heart Gold for Pokemon, and then oh no, another retro game that oh gosh. A very random one that I just
Is it
absolutely love.
ATV?
No.
Okay.
Um it's another platformer collectathon, but that's just what I love. It's called Croc and the Legend of the Gobos.
Fucking I know
Oh
Croc.
yeah, I've
It
heard of
was
that
for
game. Yeah,
PS1. I think it came out on Xbox as well. I don't know, but I played it on PC, so I don't know.
cool,
That game
nice,
is so cute and fun, and just brings me the warm fuzzies. So
deadly. I'll have to look into
yeah,
That
that game. I've heard of it, and I've seen. I can actually
yeah.
picture the
I remember you
box.
were playing it not so long ago, were you?
yeah. I
Yeah.
streamed it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still so fun. I love it.
Cool.
Right, guys. I think is that a good spot to leave it for you?
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
happy
so.
with
Otherwise,
that.
we'd be here all day talking
True.
about nonsense.
Yeah.
Mary, God damn it. Let's hope this fucking works.
Oh,
Praise the
please.
Lord.
Please,
I mean, we got
podcast
some
gods.
copies of something somewhere, right? So let's hope it
Yeah.
goes. Where can people find you? Tell us where to go and that stuff. And where people can get angry at you for not being a real gamer. Where can people find you for that?
Sure. You can come argue with me at twitch.tv/Mary Majora or Twitter. Same username. I'm also on Instagram, Mary_Majora, because the person that took Mary Majora
Fucker.
is rude and won't give me their account. And then also YouTube, Mary Majora as well.
Oh yeah.
Nisha, my darling.
You can find me on Instagram at retro_gamer_Ireland, which is a terrible name, but I have to say, Mary, I said it in the last podcast, and I'm saying it again. Mary Majora is the fucking coolest, like tag name or what streamer name. It has that ring to it. It's
Thank you.
fucking gold. I love it. It's very, very cool.
Thank you.
And you can check me out at twitch.tv/Teamy_streamers, where you'll probably see Mary hanging out there too. And Nisha as well. Pretty much we're all chilling out in there sometimes. Guys, before we finish up, Nisha, you're gonna have to do this with me. I'm so sorry. Can we get a
Not gonna do it.
can we get a remix, baby? Can we slap it on in? I want you to Big Billy with me.
Right. Big Billy is
Do it last time. Come on.
I'm the
saw
Big
the
Billy,
video.
the biggest wet willy. I'm the Big Billy. Clearly.
This is the cat, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
What am I
Alright,
doing?
smack it. We're just gonna fucking hope for the best, man. It's just chaos.
Right. And we're gonna fade out with this, are we?
Oh,
Let's fade
totally.
out with-
I can beatbox.
Yeah,
that
give me your
Okay.
give me your sickest beat. I want the best one you got.
Sickest one? Okay. Right now?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
3, 2, 1. I'm the Big Billy, the biggest wet willy. I'm the Big Billy, clearly. I'm the Big Billy, the biggest wet willy. I'm the Big Billy, clearly. I'm the Big Billy, the biggest wet willy. I'm the Big Billy, clearly. I'm the Big Billy, the biggest wet willy.